What's up, y'all? We are right back again with the Cajun Libertarian Live. I am your host, the Cajun Libertarian, and I'm very excited to be here tonight. I have known Trisha for a little while now, and from a Twitter poll, that was a bunch of fun, and she is leading the way. I mean, that's incredible. And so I don't want to get too far into that real quick. I've got to try to do some new things here at the front end, at the back end. And so I want to tell you what's coming up in my own state party and the things that you can help out with personally. And so in July 9th through 11th, I will be going to Tunica. We all are, Tunica, Mississippi, and we're hosting an event there. And we'll have Tasha there. We'll have Spike there. We'll have a lot of speakers. It's incredible. And so the more you can support to help get me there and to help with the resources, all the better. It's super important. It's going to cost me about $400 for the weekend to be there. And so there it is, PayPal, Cajun Libertarian. I am done with that. So thank you for all of the help and advice. I'm super excited to be here tonight, like as always, right? But I really like Trisha, and it just can't be said enough about how well and just how enormously great things are going in that direction for our party with leaders like Trisha. So, with that being said, let's bring her on. What's up?
Hi. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm tired too.
Yeah, it goes like that. This is a busy business. And so you were snacking on some licorice before this, right?
Oh my gosh. So this is like my new, I can't believe you called me. This is like my new thing,
Sorry.
sweet tart ropes. I'm addicted to them. And I don't do sweets a lot, but those things I'm like, and I didn't smoke before I came on here, so I was chomping.
Yeah, that oral fixation. I can't do the texture. I probably could if it were something like that. I'm a diabetic, so it's a no go either way. But I've always hated. I'm sorry. I see the comment down there. I've always hated licorice, but I could have swore that's what you were eating. So, oh look. So I gotta ask you, right? Did you see the great seafood debate with me and Eskimo Libertarian?
I did not see it. I did hear about it, but I didn't watch it.
Okay. All right. So, in a very generic and very basic way, how would you prefer your seafood? Although I already know this answer because it's 100% unanimous. Would you rather it Cajun style seasoned or fresh out of the river, Alaskan on an open fire?
I'm a northerner. I'm northeastern, so I lost you. I'm so
Are you
ridiculous.
still there?
I'm clicking buttons. So I'm northeastern, so I like my seafood with Old Bay seasoning.
But it's not bland, and so I'll take that as a win.
And also, I can make a mean etouffee. My husband will tell you crawfish etouffee is his favorite. He's from Texas, and his family is from Louisiana. So
Very nice. I have a huge following in Texas, so that makes perfect sense. Kevin says Trisha is too busy for the seafood debate. For that, I will have to
probably
concur.
right. He's probably right. That's probably why I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. No, I know for a fact you're too busy for our little nonsense. It was just a fun time, and now we have a seafood caucus. And so, if you
I'm in it.
if you want to be,
I'm in it.
Sweet, that's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. And so, actually, we did have some debate and some fun about Old Bay seasoning. And so, Old Bay is still better than nothing, but a lot of people love Old Bay. And so, I'm good with it. I picked on a bunch of New Englanders for Old Bay, but apparently that's a Maryland thing. But a lot of New Englanders do like Old Bay.
Yep.
And so, let me ask you this. What was it like coming from somewhere like the Northeast down to the South?
Slower, like a lot slower. Of course, back when I moved with the army. So I was too busy to think about it then too. But when I decided to stay here, going up north and then coming back down, it's just so much slower, so much calmer, so much less a-hole. So that has a lot to do with why I chose to stay down here. Up north is I'm from Pittsburgh, so it's rough,
Oh,
you know.
wow.
So down here is just a lot calmer and a lot less rough. That's the only word I can think of.
Yeah. No, I hear that a lot. We got a little bit more rural area, and the society is just a little bit more comfortable and slow and easygoing. But how does that relate to politics? Were you involved before you got into the army?
No, not really. I mean, me going into the army was very much, oh, I'm going to serve the country. We're going to do the thing. So I was pretty hard Republican. It was when Bush was still in office, but I wasn't political. Do you know what I mean? Like I knew
Yeah.
I voted. I was my civic duty to go and vote, so I went and voted. But as far as actually getting political, I started getting political because I was in the army and I started paying attention to what was going on, like especially at
Yes.
war. And that
Yes.
was a lot of the reason why I went like actively political.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And I was in the Navy slash Marine Corps, and kind of opened me up to it as well. The biggest disconnect that I had was that it still wasn't personal to the family life after I disconnected from the military. And then I actually got engaged with the ACA stuff, the Affordable Health Care Act. It really hurt us real bad. And so that's a great. I love the fact that you said that, because you just told me literally just minutes ago that people were hammering you on Twitter for being a veteran. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's like one person, and it's not the first time he's done it, but this time it was like very unprovoked. Like the last time we were in the middle of an argument about something, and that's what he threw at me, and I was like, okay, whatever. But I just woke up one morning to this guy like, why did Trisha Butler get away with not taking the nap, and we call her a libertarian? And I was like, what is this guy talking about? And I actually didn't even have to say a whole lot back to him. My state party came to my aid on Twitter. I thanked them for that. It was
Nice.
amazing. So, and it was really cool just to see everybody come together. But I did make it a point to share that and say that, this is toxic and I totally rebuke this kind of behavior. Veterans do have a home in the Libertarian Party. And it's absurd that he couldn't grasp in his mind that, like, we know the sacrifice on a different level. I'm not saying that we're better or it's more. We know the sacrifice on a intimate, different level. And like I was saying, one of the reasons that I got political was because I saw what was going on over there and I was like, this is not for me. So
No, I love it, because I'm reading already in the comment section. They're all like, Will Daughtry says that was awesome. F that guy. I love that. Somebody else says, I get crap for being a libertarian vet all the time. I don't get it. I really don't. Yeah, same here. Like,
it's silly.
people change, and even if you weren't, if you're a libertarian prior to enlisting, I don't see anything wrong with that either. Like, some people just have different baselines, and you know that's absurd to me on its face. I'm not the guy that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go shake every veteran's hand and say thank you for your service. If it comes up organically, I will. Absolutely, I am a veteran, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That should be applauded. But this whole just bashing libertarians for being veterans, or bashing military personnel in general, is absurd, and it makes me sick to my stomach, to be honest with you.
People forget, and this is why we go right back into making libertarians human. People forget, like, and here's one that I get flack for all the time. We forget that cops are humans. And I'm like, yes, I agree that we need to stop qualified immunity and our police need policing oversight, but we can't ever stop remembering these are people also, you know, like, yeah, some veterans did some really nasty things. And even like, I might not have been on the front lines, but what I did supported those things. I live with that every day. I don't need you to
Right.
remind me that, you know, but that's the one thing that libertarians need to get a grip on is humanity, is being human and remembering that, you know, like, we don't need to cater to feelings and things like that, and we should never sacrifice our principles for it. But geez, treat people like people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I harp on that all the time. I'm somebody who's very bitter with the police from some horrible experiences that the majority of the public doesn't or and will never have to go through. And I held on to that for a long time. But what you're saying right now resonates because I've been talking about it for a long time. We need to be looking at people as individuals, not as whatever collectivism that they're being treated or conformed to. I can't stand it. I will abandon the respect really fast if you deserve it if you're a cop. But at this juncture in a crossroads of my life, I want to give that individual police officer the respect he deserves as an individual human being and the rights that he deserves. If he violates that, well, that's on him. But it's my duty as a libertarian, as just a good, decent human being, to give that person some respect.
I'm over here cheering for you. I hope they're cheering in the
yeah,
comments.
yeah. I'm trying not to watch because I'm actually gonna move off of them because I'll keep reading them, and I
I'm
just
so
love
glad
this.
I can't see them because I would be like,
Yeah. It's just like that. And so that was one of the big things. It was so cool because I didn't even realize that this is part of what I've been doing. But like when Brian said, or, I heard y'all's podcast, I thought you're a great speaker. You're a great interview. You should be doing this, you know. But yeah, you're busy. I get it. Totally get it. But when they talked about making libertarians human again, I think that's super special. Everybody that knows me knows I've been a big advocate for character development. And that's part of what makes us human again, is us working on our own character. So from your perspective, tell us about making libertarians human again, please.
well, I think one of the things that I told Brian, and of course we were talking more about candidates. I always tell people, brush your teeth and put on a blazer. It's not unprincipled to look presentable. If you're going knocking on doors and you want someone to vote for you, like, you're a brand, you know, and you have to sell your brand. But I think that actually, I don't know if we were talking about this Clubhouse. Yes, we were. I think Clubhouse is really good at that too. Once you get the vocals with it, not just tick, 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 you know, it tends to humanize us a little more. And I've noticed this just from going around to a couple different conventions. The way that we act online and the way that we act in person are totally different. And we've got to, again, get a grip and be the same people in person that we are online, and not get our, you know, keyboard courage or whatnot. But a lot of what me and Brian went over was just meeting people where they're at. You know,
Yeah.
everybody doesn't want to hear about Bastiat and Mises and Rothbard.
Man.
Like, most normal Americans don't care. Like, what they want to know is, what can you do for me? And again, this is kind of going more toward candidates. If you're going to run a race, don't make it about you putting your principles out there. All right. Take a libertarian principle and make it work for your community, you know? And I think that that's how we're going to get people into the party. And it works for me as a public official. I just yesterday, someone inboxed me and said, I hear you talking about libertarians. What's that? You know, and then I get to explain it. So just I don't want to say be normal, because there is no normal, but just, that's why I switched to just be human. Just be a normal breathing human being, not like a walking textbook, you know?
I've been hashtagging be nice,
Be
just be nice.
kind. Yeah.
Be
Yes.
nice because look, a lot of what we do and a lot of how this world operates now is from the internet. And so when somebody comes into the comment section that isn't libertarian or in Clubhouse, which we've got a guy that comes on my Clubhouse stuff all the time now. Um, and he's a hard right Trumper, and he will tell you real fast, but he also is like, you know what? I've never seen this side before. I it just seems like you guys are so radical and so over the top. And that's not the case, because we're all kind of in this collective society of, as soon as somebody that doesn't align perfectly with everything we have to say, it's like, whoom, I'm gonna hit you with every Rothbard quote in Hayek freaking scripture that I can find to show you you're wrong, and
Scripture.
nobody's listening. Now, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, I'm an avid Christian.
That's hilarious. Because they do kind of treat it like scripture, and the purity test. Nobody's passing the purity test. I just posted about this on my libertarian page. I said, "Who's they?" Everyone's talking about they. They're doing this. They're doing this. Who's they? Who's the they you're against? Because if it's another libertarian, you're wrong. You know what I mean? And it's like, we spend more time trying to be right, trying to be correct, trying to be Rothbardian or whatever, rather than just trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this isn't about giving the people the Kool-Aid so that they do the right thing, so that they pass the swipe test, the libertarian swipe test. What this is about is freedom and liberty, and, you know, getting people out of this bipartisan garbage that we've been stuck in so long. Like, and I tell people all the time, I always say, we need to take this more seriously. It's not just a social club. And I say that because, to me, this comes from the veteran side. This is life or death. It's a life or death thing. My children are going to deal with the decisions that we're making now, and grandchildren, and so on and so forth. And, like, it's time to make the change now, you know?
No, that's freaking perfect. I've been
Soapbox.
saying the same thing. Soapbox. I don't consider that a soapbox. That's just reality. That's a fact. I've got three. You know, people like to ask all the time, like, what got you into this? And, like, honestly, if we don't do something now, I don't know what my kids' country is going to look like if I don't. And so this is why I spend just about every waking second doing this libertarianism, if you want to even call activism is the word I would call it, is because I want the future for our country, for my children, to be at least something that resembled a little bit of what it looks like when I grew up, and it looks like it's changing rapidly. And so it's amazing that somebody with your, it doesn't surprise me, somebody with your passion and your voice and intelligence is in office now as a libertarian. But you know, I think there's this misconception out there that people like us can't win. And I think you are absolutely the example of why we can win.
Yes, and we can. We just have to do the right thing instead of trying to be right. Like,
no, that's excellent, because that's exactly what I've been talking about for 2 months now. It's like we have to approach things with empathy. We have to approach things with wanting to hear you before I want you to hear me. Meeting you where you're at. Tell me, and I just had this conversation in Clubhouse with a hard right guy. He was like, I just don't know. I can't get on board with libertarianism. There's a bunch of people in the room, and they're all trying to chatter. I'm like, all right, hold on. I can't deal with all that, but I can say, what is it about libertarianism that you don't like? And then let's go from there. And that dude loved that. He knew that I was listening to him. He knew that I'm going to take time out to hear how you have to say, hear what you have to say about this situation, and then we can start to talk about it. And then he's been in my group chat like a bunch lately.
my mentor told me when I started running, because I'm a talker. I talk a lot. And I don't mean to always talk a lot. I just talk a lot. And then I nervous talk if I'm, so I do a lot of. So my mentor told me, he was like, when you're running for office, listen. And it was more than just one mouth, two ears. It was like, listen, 90% of the time, talk 10. And I feel like that really worked for me, especially, like, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I noticed that with the older generation, when I walk up to them, they just want to talk to me. And I listen. I listen to all of it. I listen to them tell me about the loud music that drives past their house. I listen to them tell me that people are driving around through wheels. Like every little thing that they want to tell me, I just, smile and I listen. You don't always have to have an answer. And honestly, in public office, a lot of times you don't have the answer. And really, people just want to know you care.
Yeah,
So that's the easiest thing to do, is just actually care about people and where the country is going and what's in store for people if we don't do something to change the current political climate.
that's so perfect. That's so perfect, and that's what we talk about all the time. Our little group, our little circle, is meeting people where they're at, and trying to understand where do you fall with these things, and then you tell me where you're at, and I'm going to offer you a solution of how the libertarian way can solve that solution, or at least make it better. And so much we get caught on the fact that what is it we're doing? And then it's like, oh, I'm going to attack you right now because you're wrong. It's like, wait a minute, hold on now. If everybody wants to be heard, and if somebody feels like that they don't have your ear, then your message is mute. Period.
Yep.
And you've done a great job of the messaging. And I forgot all about it until Brian had said something about the making libertarians human again. And I mean, that's just great. I do think that this helps us a lot. Things like this, and part of what this show is really develop into is an organic way to show people, like, we can win, and this is how we win. This is how we spread our message. This is how Trisha Butler became the councilwoman of what was like one of the fifth largest counties in Tennessee.
And so Clarksville, Tennessee is the fifth largest city, and I'm hoping that we get fourth after we get this census back. And then in Clarksville, of the 12 wards, mine is the biggest ward because it's this is where all the growth was. So we say that I have around 20,000 constituents. It might be closer to 30, 35, but it's like a lot, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a clear path of victory. We are winning. By the way, Kenneth says, by the way, talk about a great job. Trisha Butler won a competitive six-way race for city council.
I do brag about that a lot. It feels
good. I
would
guess so. Yes, that's extraordinarily difficult. I mean, that's great. Going off of that comment, thank you, Kenneth. What was that like going through that experience of running through such a competitive race?
Okay, so first of all, it was terrible. When I started running 2 years out, I caught a lot of flack for it. A lot of people made fun of me, but I knew I was an underdog. I knew that I needed name recognition. And here, everybody take out your pad and start writing it down. Name recognition wins elections. People say it's money. Money buys name recognition. It's name recognition that wins. So I started 2 years out so that I could fundraise and so that I could get out there. Anyone who's thinking about running for office needs to start going to the meetings for the office in which you're applying for. And if you can't go to the meetings, then you need to watch them. You need to know what's going on. You also need to get involved civically. And I don't just mean going to your Libertarian Party meetings. You need to go to your Citizen. You need to go to your Sierra Club, just these type of civic organizations. Do those kinds of things and volunteer, stuff like that. So I started doing all of that 2 years out. And up until now, we don't even qualify until it's like 2 months or 3 months before the election. So I did this for almost 2 years. And there were two gentlemen that were going to run against me. One who announced about a year out, and the other one who he ran last time. Everybody knew he was going to run again. He's going to run again. So 3 months before the election, all of a sudden, the ballot starts getting stacked. Like, this guy comes from over here, this guy comes from over there. And one of them said to me, I know for a fact that the same person that pulled me to run is the same person that pulled this other guy to run. So, and this is not my hypotheticals. I felt like they got afraid that I was doing well and they stacked the ballot, but they split their vote. So I'm running against one Democrat, and it's a nonpartisan race, but I'm running against one guy that's a Democrat, four guys that are Republicans, and then me. And I'm reaching across all the aisles. I'm showing up at the BLM rallies, I'm showing up at the GOP stuff. I'm like, I'm here for everybody. I don't care which party you're in, and that's what I told them.
Amen.
So by the time the day came, my word was the last one that they called, and I had only two precincts, thank the Lord. My second precinct, the biggest one, they kept the polls open. We had to be standing up there till like 10 o'clock at night or something. And then it was just before midnight when one of the news channels finally called it, because after early voting was tallied, I was up by like 40 votes. And then
Right.
absentee ballots came in, and then I was down by like 20 or something like that. And I was like, that's it. I'm losing. That's the end of it. I'm over it. Well, my first precinct came in, and I was back up by like 20 or something like that. It might have been more than that. I really don't remember the numbers. But I was still like, I'm not winning. I'm not going to win. I know I'm not going to win. And everybody's like, you're going to win. You only have one more precinct. And I'm like, it's the biggest precinct. I'm going to lose. So finally, of course, the precinct came in, and I had won. I think I got 34% of the vote in a six-way race, which is killer, even more killer for a libertarian. And I
Yeah.
won by 113 votes against an establishment candidate who had twice as much money than me when he started. That was his own money before he fundraised. And he was actually also a vet. I live right outside of Fort Campbell, so that matters around here. He was a
Yeah.
special forces vet. So I'm like super proud of winning this race.
Yeah, I can imagine for sure.
Sorry, that was
I
a
mean,
long
like,
story.
no, that was perfectly said. Absolutely great. I'd love to hear about what you felt like when you get the announcement. Like you won.
I literally, it still has not. Somebody told me that it took like 2 weeks to sink in. So once I got sworn in, I was like, okay, now it's gonna sink in. And yeah, I get my responsibility and who I am and stuff. But I don't know that I ever sit up on city council behind my little name plaque and really feel like I did it. I'm like, what am I doing? How did I get here? How did this happen? So
I could tell you right now, I feel the same way. That is not a joke. I am floored to even be here talking to you right now. Like I literally just started all this with no intentions of being here talking to Trisha Butler. It was just a brand to start, in because I cared, and I think people resonate with that. That's what I'm being told by a lot of big people that I talk to behind the scenes, and they're like, because I think you're gonna relate to this. I deal with a lot of imposter syndrome, which I didn't really even knew existed until I
right.
got in front of this camera, and also like, I'm like, oh my god, this is real, and it's just so incredible to know that you're you're really trailblazing, and probably everybody's sick of me saying that word, but wow, that matters so much on so many different levels with you specifically. Not just the fact that you are a libertarian city councilwoman, a veteran, you fifth largest city in what, the state,
Yep.
or the county at least. Yeah, the
The
state.
state.
And
Yep.
so I get excited, so I forget the statistics. I apologize. I'm not very good at this. I bring people on like you because y'all are great. But I mean, it's just incredible. So I hate to generalize because every single one of those little aspects is super crucial and important to anybody and everybody that's watching out here right now, as to the fact that we are winning, and we are winning big time. And you are one of the largest, if not a top three or the largest examples of, on a local level, actually just handling business. And the way I feel like the way you did that was through being personable, being honest, being a good, decent
Human,
human being.
just being human.
That is so important. We need to talk to people where they're at. We need to reach out to them. And then obviously, once you got into office, it's a little bit more chaotic than normal. But
It's so bad. It's
yeah,
terrible. It's so terrible. And I have gotten even more into we have got to get more people elected. And I know now because I'm there, because the way that the system is set up, it's set up bipartisan, and at a local level, like where I'm at, it's not even so much about the parties, it's all about establishment. There's one group of people that control everything. They control the county, they control everything. And, the system is set up so that we can't make the changes that we want to make. And the way to do that is to get more. I need someone up there with me that'll vote with me. We need allies. And I do that within the people that are up there. But it would definitely be awesome to have like-minded, in my county, I'm city councilor. My mentor is he's a county commissioner, but we're not on the same legislative body. And I'm like, hey, come over here, man.
right.
You know, but we've got to get more of us, because that's the way that the system is set up. We gotta, how they always say, drain the swamp. I'm like, swamp the swamp. We need to just get everybody in office, because that's how. I mean, that's how. And it's like you said, we can win. I hate that people say we can't win. We can win.
Absolutely.
You don't have to put your principles away to act like a human being. You can be a principled and meet people where they're at. And that's what we have to do, because I'm telling you, I get legislation knocked down just because my name's on it. And I sit up there and I'm a no vote. And yeah, granted, I'm sticking to my principles as the single no vote, but I'd like to get to a point where more people are voting no, or we can say yes and repeal short-term rentals, or that kind of stuff. But I'm currently right now switching and adjusting, and I'm figuring out the way things work. I'm trying to figure out a way to get some stuff done while I'm in there. So my next plan is to start putting up archaic rules, like, more than 7 women can't live in a house, and you're not allowed to spit downtown, or the silly rules that, yes, you're looking crazy, they're still on the rule books, man.
Oh yeah, we have them here. It blows my mind when I hear the things that are literally still on the rule books. It's incredible. Like it, you know this in the military. Like the I can't even say it because uh, it's absurd. Like literally, they try. There are rules. If y'all don't know, there are rules and laws in place of what you literally can and cannot do with your spouse in your bedroom. It,
Yes.
it's it's the
And
most
yes, that's in the
Neanderthal.
military too. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's wild.
I saw those rules and I was like, "You're kidding, right? This can't be a thing." Oh, it's a thing, and
Yeah,
so I
it's
love
definitely a
that.
thing.
I love chipping away at that stuff like that because a lot of people don't know that. They're not aware of these ridiculous, archaic laws and regulations that we have. We just think we're this free as we're moving forward because it feels that free, but we don't know what's actually on the books. And I love that because that's going to help you big time with branding and messaging. If you
I
can
hope
knock out
so.
and chip away some of that stuff, you can be like, hey, look, this is where we were. I'm the one that fought for us to get past these little things. I absolutely love it. Tanya says, kicking butt, girl. Yeah, you better believe it.
Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, that's
So,
actually it's funny because I started thinking about wanting to do this with the code, just because whenever anyone asked me, what do you want to do when you first get into office, I would go. So I just said deregulate. Like, that started to be my answer. I want to unlegislate. And last, the Libertarian Elected Support System, which I'm helping set up at the national LP level. One of the things that they're doing is municipal modernization, which is the same thing. So I had this idea, and then they came and said, let's do this. And I said, I'm already on it. And then I just met with a constituent last night to actually, sorry, to sign our little petition for ballot access. And he said, hey, what if you go back in the code and start pulling out some laws we don't use anymore? And I was like, all right, that's 3. You said earlier you're Christian. That's 3 confirmations. I'm doing
it. That's awesome. Yes, indeed. So again, like we talked about before, I don't want to ask you just a super generic question, but I think it's important for this audience because a lot of them are very passionate and fired up. And so I think what's very, very, very important to ask you is if you could sum up like 1 or 2 things that really solidified in your mind and from your team's mind what it was that got you the win. What do you think that was?
At a local level, and that's what I focus on. I don't speak like state or whatever. At a local level, you have got to get in front of people, and that's knocking doors, like I said, joining the civic associations, getting to the meetings. People want to see you. You can't just send out your canvassers, and they want to see you. They want to look at you. And name recognition. And I said I was on the ballot during a presidential, so I knew that people were going to show up to the polls. And my goal was that people would know my name and associate it with a warm fuzzy. They didn't necessarily need to know my policy or my platform, but they needed to see Trisha Butler and not think, They had to think, hey, she was nice to me. Hey, she knocked on my door. Oh, I saw one of her videos, So I think that my team would probably agree it's about getting out there and make sure people know your name. And I have to say, aside from name recognition and getting in front of people, that having a team of people that you trust, of people that are going to help you I could not in a million years have done it without my family and my pod of people that helped me.
Yeah, that's a big deal for me. Most of my team is in the comment section now, and that's just what they do. And yeah, I mean, I tell people, especially in Clubhouse here lately, because I've got that platform to where I can just talk to people on average, like that team support, because you cannot do this by yourself. Develop a team that you trust, and it's incredible. My team is incredible. Obviously, your team was incredible because you are a libertarian elected official, and so I will.
I still can't believe it. You just did it again, and I'm going, oh my God, how did this happen?
Right. And so I'm actually just that guy. Like I say it all the time. Anytime I'm talking about you, anytime I'm talking about one of our elected officials, like it's so important because we can win. Hold on. I want to put this quote up here or this message.
Kenneth is the shiz, by the way. He has been pumping me up all day. And I'm telling you, being elected sucks. And people like Kenneth are what keeps me going, man. LPTN.org. That is my state affiliate.
Kenneth is on my team, and that guy is remarkable. Carly or Alice. She got like 5 different profiles because she can't stay out of trouble. But she is incredible. My wife's on the team. Her boyfriend's on the team. I got a bunch of people. But Kenneth is like the gold standard for volunteerism. Like he would literally ask me before every show, like, "Hey, where's the links? What do I got to do to promote who you got coming on the show? I need links." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know, bro. I was just talking." And he's the one that hammers me about the fundraising and stuff like that. I mean, that team support is super crucial. But I will tell each and every one of y'all, as Trisha sitting right here as the example, when you have that support, when you have that team, you can be the libertarian that has political office, just like Trisha does. And even if that vote is no, that's super effing crucial. I want that no vote, right? I love that no vote. Like, this is what we're going to do. And I'm saying, nah, I'm against that. I want everybody
we're not going to spend $1 million on a on a failing business downtown.
Yeah, it's
I think.
crazy. No, go ahead. I want to hear what you had to say.
Oh no, that's it. It was $800,000. We bought a failing theater downtown, and it's historical. I will give it that. But yeah, we bought them out, and I fought real hard against that because small business owners in my ward, my constituents, were like, "Who's bailing me out for COVID?" You know, and that was one of the things that I was the sole. I don't know if I was the sole no vote or one of two that time. But yeah, I get to vote no on stuff like that.
I love it. I love it just because I'm a rebellion. I'm just a rebellious person, and I thought about running for office just for the sole reason of going in there and just saying no, no. But what gives that the opportunity that it gives you for the future, and that it gives us as a party, and let's be honest, we're libertarians for a reason. So when we say it gives us an advantage, what we really mean is that we're giving the American people the advantage. And so we that one no, however many times we have to do that one no, and then we put that on a megaphone and we put people like you on camera and we put you out in the front, is however many lives that we can push towards the right direction and go just freedom. I'm gonna go off on a rant. I'm trying not to.
Freedom! Freedom!
It drives me nuts. Like I feel like the equation is so simple, and I feel like people like you have cracked it. We're not cracking the major code of everyone, but the point of the matter is that if we can get people like you in the country all over the place, then we can chip away at this tyranny one law at a time. And so Larry Sharp says something awesome. Or I'm sorry. Oh my God. I hope I don't get butchered for this one. It was Donald Rainwater. Is on the show. He said, I want to be a little bit more free tomorrow than I was today. And that's what I want. And it's so freaking crucial that we have voices out there like you. And amazing job. I'm going to keep rambling. I cannot believe we're already at 45 minutes. That's crazy.
I talk a lot.
I feel like I talked a lot this whole time. I'm the one that did all the talking. That never happens. But either way, you're a great public speaker too, by the way. And so I think you're a great representative for our party. And I want people to really grasp the concept of what it means to make libertarians human again. And I think you exemplify that a bunch. And I'm not trying to steal you and Brian's slogan there or whoever came up with that. I'm sure it was yours.
I think we were just talking.
Yeah, well, it resonates. It resonates big time because we are human. And that's our biggest thing is like we care about people. We actually care about them. And so we need you. We need people more like you. I'm just talking. I am so sorry.
You're good. You're making me embarrassed. I'm not great.
Oh,
I give all my credit to my team when it comes to the win. So
I do the same thing. Because I feel honest about it. Like I'm barely hanging on by the edge of my seat. They're the ones that keep me formulated and coagulated. I guess would be a good couple of aided.
I heard that. Yeah.
I love this comment because she puts it out there all the time. Chocolate on your car. Yep. Chocolate on the car. She's amazing.
Like just
Don't let
married.
her lie.
That's my sister.
I feel like I'm not letting her lie.
Okay. Janelle Holmes is my sister. That is my campaign manager / assistant / stylist / she does everything for me. So when we're talking about teams, that's the team right there. Janelle Helms. And she's our county chair too.
Wow. Really? Y'all are deeply
my
involved.
sister is amazing. Yeah. My sister is the county chair. I actually just won regional last weekend. So yeah, we're doing things over here in Montgomery County, Tennessee.
How long have you been there?
I came here in 2004. It was my first duty station,
Oh, you've been
and
there a
then
while.
well, I left because I PCSed, and then I came back in 2011. But we have been here, homeowners here, since 2011. My husband went to school for 2 years. We moved away and then came back. So 2011 is fair.
Yeah, it's fair. I see it all as fair. You've been here for I say here. I'm in Middle Mississippi, but I was just in your area for the last couple of days, somewhat. Bartlett, Tennessee. Do you know where that's at?
I've heard of it. You know what makes me so sad? That Mississippi event that you're talking about. See, now I'm going to prop your event. The Mississippi event you're talking about, somebody contacted me on Twitter to come speak at that event. And I was already booked for Freedom Fest over here. So I was like, I wish I could do it. I think I'm talking on the 10th. What is your guys' event also on the 10th, or is it both days?
9th, 10th, and then we have something going on that Sunday as well. So
Maybe
yeah,
I'll
all
try
3 days.
to at least make it out to Tunica for one of the days. But I definitely on July 10th I have to be down in Lyles, Tennessee. I'm gonna teach them how
Nice.
to run the campaign.
That's what's up. We, I mean, I can tell you firsthand, no doubt about it. There are people very close to me in our circles and in this comment section right now, this audience that is looking for training on campaign management. And so, if there's any sort of um, advice you have for them, we can drop that in the links, or you can. I doubt that's information you can just spout off like that to where people can follow live. But we'll get any sort of that information out. Anything that you could help any of these people out. I say these people, I mean us. You know, like in running campaigns and figuring out how to win because we got to win and we are winning. And
So you can
sorry,
always reach out, absolutely always reach out to me with any questions that you might have. So Facebook and Instagram, anything like that. Facebook's probably the easiest to reach me on, and that is my website. But all of my social media is Trisha Butler TN. So get a hold of me, add me on Facebook, send me a message, all that good stuff. I am doing a training event in Kentucky in August. I'm doing a training event in Laos, Tennessee in July. And keep your eyes peeled because the LP National, they're going around doing trainings too in each region. So every region is going to have a training. There's one coming up. I want to say it's next weekend, in Atlanta, Georgia. So I mean, we're doing these trainings. This is an off year. Everybody needs to get all their training in. And I went to YAL, Young Americans for Liberty. I went to their training session.
yeah.
I worked with Apollo Pizzell with the Frontier Project. So I got a lot of training from him. I went to a training event with Apollo and Kara Schultz. My sister, that's the link. Yeah. I went with Apollo and Kara Schultz to a training in Kentucky. Kentucky ran, I want to say it was 12 candidates last cycle after that training. So if you can get out to one of these regional training events, they're absolutely worth it. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, they can just hit me up and I'll do the best that I can from where I'm at.
I have to put you on blast. I'm sorry.
What I do.
Trisha, are we going to be fortunate enough to see you in Indianapolis in October?
Okay. I'm looking at who's in Illinois. Illinois is in October. I have not heard about anything in Indianapolis in October, but I am not scheduled out that far. So get me the information now so that if I can get it scheduled. That might be another regional that he's talking about. I'm like looking at this is my you can see a little bit of my map back here.
Just a sliver. I knew exactly what you were talking about as soon as you looked past it. No,
it's all the state conventions.
So are you doing any sort of online training for people that are wanting to run for Facebook or Facebook, people that are wanting to run for office? Because I think that would help a ton, not just with the libertarian movement, but with being able to fund you as well. Oh, and by the way, if y'all want to donate, please do. That's the easiest way, right? Is to your website.
Wait, oh, it's there.
Perfect.
TrishaButler.com. Yeah, my donations are still open, and I'm still doing all my reporting and everything for that. So yeah,
if you donate,
I could do online. I can do something. I could do something online. I just this is the first time I've been asked about anything like that. So
I love that. You're the third person's like, I've never been asked that before. It's important because online reach is massive. It's massive. And that's another good way to get money into your pockets so that you can affect the real change. I'm sure you thought about it, but I may be the first person to ask it. But yeah, set something up with some online training on how to run for political office, and then, let us donate to you. um, you're kind of
a
like a
great
gold
idea.
standard, and so I mean, you're like I made a meme about you. Sorry, I think you saw it. I'm pretty sure you saw it. It was in response to Brian Nichols. It said, "Making libertarians human again, one city council woman at a time." And
I
so,
saw it on Twitter. I was like,
okay, yeah, you did say whatever. It's the facts. Facts matter, period. And you are trailblazing. You are leading. Thank you so much. What else can we do to help you?
I got nothing, man. I'm blessed beyond measure. So just reach out if you guys need it. I'm not used to people saying, "What can I do to help you?" I'm going, "Whoa, that's my line. You took my line, man."
Yeah, I think that should be pretty obvious to everybody. Like, that is your heart and soul, and that's amazing. But you need our help, and so I should say it like this: she needs our help, and so donate, share, get on her Facebook page, like it, um, all of that. www.trisha. But you're so much better than that at me. I still struggle. I can't even point to my own crap. I don't
It took
even
me a couple
know.
tries.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. There we go. I gotta look at
Go.
it. You're already so much better than me at that. So get on www.trishabutler.com. I'm pretty sure that I just sold her on very inexpensive online training to run for office. So
I'm going to talk to my sister. You might have sold us on this. She's probably downstairs scheming right now.
I can't believe I'm the first one to tell you that. I feel like I'm the last one with all this stuff. That's so funny. Either way, wow, thank you so much. I feel like we could just sit here and talk for hours, but we're
We
running
got to
up
get on
on an
Clubhouse.
hour. We got to get over on Clubhouse. Are you going to be over there with us?
I actually was going to try to jump on and see if Dave Smith and Justin Amash were still on.
Yeah. That was a big deal. We planned this before they did. I guess I'll take some credit for that, right? So everybody watching and listening, there's a lot of people that are going to go back and watch it. I did this before they did, and I'll have some fun with that later. But yes, I will get out of your hair, and thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's get
Thank
over
you
and
for having me. This was awesome.
yeah, I thought it was awesome too. I can't wait to follow up with you and have you on for other subjects too. Not just talking about your running for office. I really love your leadership and your communication, and that's genuine and honest. We need more people like you, and I'm super proud to. I wish I lived in your your county in your city to call you my councilwoman. And so, thank you very much. I will quit rambling.
Someday you might be able
Yeah.
to vote for me.
Yeah. Well, we'll be voting for you for president. Well, you'll be the first female president. How about that?
Well, thank you
That'll
for
work.
having me. Seriously, it was awesome.
Yeah, I thought so too. Thank you so much. I will see you in just a couple of minutes. All right. Awesome freaking interview. Again, I knew that this would happen with her just because of how excellent she is. And that there's a reason that she is a uh, office holding public official and as a libertarian, running as a libertarian. I think you see it. Um, I think we need to set a standard. I think that the standard should look something like Trisha in whatever variety of that in your area, right? So that it's area specific. It's very that part is very important. But when we're talking about success, we need to model that. That's what I've done here. There's nothing special about what I'm doing or who I am. Not to make it about me. I hate that idea. I'm just saying I've taken what other people have done very well and we apply it right here. That's why you see the growth. That's why you see the Trisha Butlers in office and still leading the charge like she is at the forefront. It's incredible. It's amazing. We have no brakes. It's all gas. And so, again, um, in Tunica, middle of July, got to have the funds. I need your help. That's not a joke. I'm not rich. I live very scarcely. Uh, I make a very middle wage income, and then I do just enough to where my wife stays home so that she doesn't have to go to work. And so, for me to be able to get to these events and for this podcast to keep going, or whatever you guys want to call it, doesn't matter. We need the money to do so. And so, again, to get to the event in Tunica, I need about $400. I'll put that banner back up, PayPal. And also, I will be on Anchor very soon. They're now waiting for the audio files to upload. You can donate there. I will be doing Patreon very soon. So, like a $5 a month situation is incredible. $10 better. And so all that stuff will help go to spread this liberty movement. With that being said, you know what time it is. It's 57 minutes. It's 58 minutes. It was 57 minutes, 59 seconds 1 second ago. And now it's 58 minutes. So we are done here. I love y'all very much. I will see you Friday, same Cajun time, same Cajun channel. I love each and one of y'all very much. I am out.